You may be seated. I invite you to hear these ancient words. Jacob left Beersheba and went toward Haran. He came to a certain place and stayed there for the night because the sun had set. Taking one of the stones of the place, he put it under his head and lay down in that place. And he dreamed that there was a ladder set up on the earth, the top of it reaching to heaven, and the angels of God were ascending and descending on it. And the Lord stood beside him and said, I am the Lord, the God of Abraham, your father, the God of Isaac. The land on which you lie I will give to you and your offspring, and your offspring shall be like the dust of the earth, and you shall spread abroad to the west and to the east and to the north and to the south. And all the families of the earth shall be blessed in you and in your offspring. Know that I am with you and will keep you wherever you go. At that time, the disciples came to Jesus and asked, Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven, and how do I enter the kingdom of heaven? He called a child, whom he put among them, and said, Truly, I tell you, unless you change and become like a child, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. The mystic Catherine of Siena, 13th century mystic. What is the mind to do with this? A God that consumes us with grace. This is ancient wisdom and holy word. Thanks be to all that is wise and holy. All creation is wisdom and holy word. All creation sings of wisdom and God. Hallelujah. At this time, I invite jubilants to ring and sing their bowls and bells. I don't know that you brought any bowls and bells today, but if you have anything to ring and sing, now's the time. I invite you to open yourself in the prayer Om. If you've never Om'd before, it doesn't really matter. You just simply make the sound Om and keep it going. Om. Breathe deeply. Jenna.
I'm gonna fix that. In 2008, I drove across the country from Oregon with my bicycle on the back of my car. Moving to Asheville, I didn't know a soul in this town, and I'd never been here, but I knew I'm going to Asheville, and I wanted to play music. And My parents were not thrilled. I'd played like half a dozen gigs, and they said, "What are you doing?" But Laurey's is the place where I began to share music and meet so many of you. And when I'd come in to play on Thursday nights, she'd bring out her ladder and climb up and tip the lights. She'd have me stand in front of the microphone, and she'd adjust the lights, just so. So I'm going to, for Laurey and for you, I'm going to tune this banjo. So it'll be just so. Now, I didn't write this song, but it was one of Laurey's favorites, and I sang it to her dog many times when I was learning it. Many times in a row. It's true. The book of love is long and boring. No one can lift the damn thing. It's full of charts and facts and figures and instructions for dancing. But I love you when you read to me. You can read me anything. The book of love has music in it. Fact, that's where music comes from. Some of it is just transcendental. Some of it is just really dumb. But I love it when you sing to me. You can sing me anything. The book of love is long and boring and written very long ago. It's full of flowers and heart-shaped boxes and things we're all too young to know. But I love it when you give me things. You ought to give me wedding rings. You love it when I give you things, and I ought to give you wedding rings.
You can clap for her again while we get this ready. Okay, wow. My name's Brian, and I don't know any of you. And while I was sitting there, I was nervous about that. But then I had a realization while I was ohming for the first time. I realized that that's good. Everyone can hear me, right? But I think I realized that I don't think anyone in here would ever put me in a position that I didn't feel welcome in, and especially Laurey. We asked her. I work at the Livestrong Foundation, and we asked her to come down to. We asked her to come down to Austin last October for one of our largest events and speak at it. So maybe this is her way of just getting back at me. I don't think I'm going to say anything profound or anything you don't know, so I'm just going to get on with it. I was thinking about this, and it's these words of remembrance, and the only thing I have to rely on is memories that I have of Laurey, and I think that I'm starting to realize that a big part of life is sharing yourself with others, and if you can share yourself with others to have such an impact that will continue to live with me and with all of us forever, and I think that's part of what we're doing here today, and it's really beautiful. It's awesome. It really is. At the foundation, we use the term survivor a lot. And I think that's something that Laurey really embodied. She was a survivor through and through. And she continues to do that with us, because she shared herself with us. I was speaking with one of Laurey's friends last night, and she's told a beautiful story about seeing Laurey dancing with her sister, and you'll have that forever. And I just think it's something that's really great. And I remember being in Austin last year at that event. It was a huge event, and speaking with Laurey in a room just full of people. Yeah, it felt like it was just Laurey and I talking, and it's because she genuinely cared, and she was genuinely interested, and it's something she shared with me, and I think that's something that I continue to share with people. And it's like every conversation I have with people, a little bit of Laurey's there with me, reminding me to be present and be interested. And I'm not perfect at it. I'm not really that great at it. But when I do nail it and I have a great conversation with somebody, I know somebody else was there with me, and I continue to share that, and through that I think, I don't know, I don't want it to sound cheesy, but she'll always survive through me, if that makes sense. So I guess that's what I just wanted to. I know you know it, and I guess I just wanted to remind you that we're all here because she shared something with us, and just remember that and find that and share it, and because wouldn't the world be a little bit better if there was more Laurey in it? And then, yeah. And I just want to close with one thought, and then I'll get out of here. And I'm going to take my phone out, and I know this is rude. But I was walking here. I was on my way here. And my colleague knows I'm here. And he sent this quote to me. And he said, I'm thinking of Laurey. And this was the quote. He said, "Happiness cannot be traveled to, owned, earned, or worn. It is the spiritual experience of living every minute with love, grace, and gratitude." And I think that's why Laurey was so happy. Love, grace, and gratitude, right? So I am so honored and so humbled to be here and share this with all of you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. You think I know how to turn this thing on by now, right? All right. So I'm so honored to be here at the Laurey Masterton's Music Festival. With this fantastic choir and a banjo. I'm like, a banjo. So I just want to give my contribution, and Heather, I'm honored to be here, and thank you so much for having me. And so. Goodbye, no more leading with our chin. Ever lovers, always friends. Ever lovers, now we're friends. Goodbye. Let us call it another day. But before you walk away, I sincerely want to say, I wish you bluebirds in the spring to give your heart a song to sing and then a kiss. But more than this, I wish you love, and in July, some lemonade, early feeling, yeah, to do you in. But more than this, but more than wealth, I wish you love, my aching heart. And I agree that you and I were meant to be. So with my best, my very best, I set you free. I wish you shelter from the storm, a cozy fire to keep you warm. But most of all, when snowflakes fall, I wish you love. Daniel Barber on piano. My aching heart, and I agree that you and I should never be. So with my best, my very best, I set you free. I wish you shelter from the storm, a cozy fire to keep you warm. But most of all, when snowflakes fall, I wish you love. But most of all, when snowflakes fall, I wish you love.
Tall, short, tall, short. Good afternoon, and bless you all for being here. I'd just like to briefly give you my door opening speech, which has brought me everything I ever needed since my sisters dragged me out of Vermont. We left one sister behind just to keep things going. This is our sister Diane Mott. Some of you have not seen Diane. And her son Eric, who is ripping it up in Baltimore, if you ever get to Baltimore. But when I came to Asheville some years ago, I repeated this story to Laurey many times. I would meet somebody for the first time and I would say, hello, I'm Laurey Masterton's sister. And they would say,